The delegate from Newport News, Delegate Price.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you. I am really glad to follow the gentleman from Scott because, Mr. Speaker, words matter. And we have already heard so many words uttered since we began on Wednesday. And I want to run some of those words back so we can all make sure that we are speaking the same language. On Wednesday, we heard from our speaker that you'd be a speaker for all. And on Saturday, the new governor said, no matter who you voted for, I pledge to be your advocate, your voice, your governor. So some of us want to know what those words mean in the face of attempts to undermine our democracy with Republican bills that disproportionately affect communities of color, specifically Black voters, older voters, younger voters, and disabled voters. Are they not deserving of an advocate? Words matter, Mr. Speaker. The governor on Monday also stated, we don't get to pick and choose the parts of the Constitution we want to preserve and protect. And I wholeheartedly agree. But since words matter, Mr. Speaker, I want to clarify, does that mean the amendments too? Because some of the communities we all serve depend on the 15th, 19th, and 26th amendments specifically for their voting rights. Also yesterday, the governor said, but I believe this chamber is big enough for us to talk through our differences. Mr. Speaker, does that mean all bills will be referred, docketed, and have a chance at public debate? Again, Mr. Speaker, I raise these questions because I want to know if the words that are being used have the same conventional meaning so that the people whose voting rights are at stake can manage their expectations for this session for the House of Delegates. As elected members, I understand I have a responsibility with my words. I don't just get to spout the words out that make people feel good and then do the detrimental work to undermine their rights. The gaslighting has got to stop. Too many Americans have their eyes on the United States Senate today as they begin debate on necessary voting rights bills. But Virginians also need to keep their eyes on the House and the Senate of Virginia, Mr. Speaker, as the proposed legislation that is going before both Privileges and Elections Committees this session are a part of a strategic, national, targeted, and comprehensive plan to undermine our democracy. We are seeing bills that will roll back the historic ease of voting that we all experienced in 2021 and the protections that were enacted. The very laws that we enacted led to the historic turnout in November. The bills this year are nothing short of dangerous and show that there is a deep chasm between some of the polished words and speeches we have heard and some of the legislation. But words matter, Mr. Speaker. Dishonesty and misinformation continue to weaken and threaten our political system. We are hearing rumors of voter fraud, but I do not hear those same people questioning the results of their election that brought us a new administration and new House members. So, either there was rampant voter fraud and we need to investigate the outcome of the 2020 election or not. Seeing as we aren't questioning the outcome, it seems we can all agree that voter fraud did not happen. On more than one occasion, I have had the privilege of having my bills killed, and the phrase that was used was, it's a solution in search of a problem, implying that there is no real problem to be addressed and that the solution being sought was premature or unnecessary. Well, Mr. Speaker, words matter. It would seem that in the absence of evidence of voter fraud, that clamping down on people's access to the ballot is indeed a really messed up solution in search of a problem that does not exist. So, Mr. Speaker, I look forward to watching the actions of the governor and all of my colleagues to see what we mean by the words we use. Because if we really want to be judged by the content of our character, then please know our actions speak louder than our words. Thank you.